Hello everyone, in this video we are going to cover the daily current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. What is the rank of India in World Bank's 2020 Human Capital Index? So as per this recent index, India is on 116th position, and India's score has improved from 0.44 to 0.49. Now, Singapore has topped this World Bank's Human Capital Index. Recently, Singapore was also in news because of Singapore Convention, and it is related to mediation. Singapore was also in news as recently it topped Smart Cities Index. So, the Smart Cities Index was released by IMD. What is IMD? It is Institute for Management Development, and as per this report, Hyderabad is the top Indian city, while overall the index has been topped by Singapore. Which organization has initiated a probe into an accident involving Howitzer gun system in Pokhran? So Pokhran is in Rajasthan, and recently DRDO has started this investigation into an accident when the firing of this Howitzer gun system caused an accident in Pokhran in Rajasthan. What is DRDO? It is Defense Research and Development Organization. It is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. Recently, DRDO was also in news because of ASAT. So this ASAT test was successfully conducted in 2019. Then why it was in news recently? It was in news because Department of Post released a stamp on this India's first anti-satellite missile. And this India's first anti-satellite missile test was successfully conducted by DRDO. DRDO was also in news because of Bharat drones. DRDO was also in news because of Dare to Dream initiative. National Jal Jeevan Mission launched an ICT grant challenge for smart water supply monitoring system, along with which ministry? So this has been launched in association with MEITY, that is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Idea is to create innovative and affordable solution to develop a smart water supply management and monitoring system. Now recently, Jal Shakti Ministry was also in news as it launched Water Heroes contest. Recently, World Water Monitoring Day was also celebrated, and this day was celebrated on 18th of September. And the theme of this day was Soul Water. Which bacterial disease has hit China affecting over 3,000 people? So this is brucellosis. It is a bacterial disease. It is often caused by close contact with infected animal or infected animal products. Now, recently, China was also in news as USA banned certain products of China after naming them products of forced labor. China was also in news because of SCR. It is Supply Chain Resilient Initiative, and it is a collaboration between India, Australia and Japan. The idea is to reduce the dominance of China in the region by creating alternate supply chains. China was also in news because of D10. So this is a group of 10 democracies which has been proposed by UK for 5G technologies so that dependency on China can be reduced. Which organization is to set up a community response forum to analyze the impact of stubble burning on places in and around Delhi? So this has been decided by NASA. NASA is the space agency of USA. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and USRA of NASA will involve in this community response forum. Now what is USRA? It is Universities Space Research Association. So this USRA is a component of NASA, and it will analyze the impact of stubble burning in our country. Which organization has decided to charge additional user fee from passengers? So this has been decided by Indian Railways, and Indian Railways has decided to levy this user fee, and this money, that means this additional fees, will be used for the upgradation of infrastructure at railway stations. And this was recently announced by Railway Board CEO. Who is the present Railway Board CEO? He is Mr. V.K. Yadav. So he is the first CEO in the history of Indian Railways. Now recently, Railways was also in news as India's first Kisan Rail was started, and it was started between Maharashtra and Bihar. And the second Kisan Rail was started between Andhra Pradesh and Delhi. Please read about the exact location of these trains because in exam they may ask you directly. Which country would chair the SAARC meeting, which is to be organized on 24th of September? So this is going to be under the presidency of Nepal. SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Total countries are MBBSPAIN. That is 8 countries are the members of this SAARC association. Apart from that, recently 10th meeting of BRICS NSAs was organized. NSA stands for National Security Advisor. So from Indian side, our NSA Mr. Ajit Dobhal represented India, and this meeting was organized under the presidency of Russia. Now coming back to SAARC, SAARC was established in 1985 and it was established in Dhaka, and the secretariat of SAARC is in Nepal in Kathmandu. Recently Dhaka was in news because of BIMSTEC. So the secretariat of BIMSTEC or the headquarters of BIMSTEC is in Dhaka in Bangladesh, and the most recent summit of BIMSTEC held in Sri Lanka. A Promised Land is a book by which famous personality? So it is a book by former US President Mr. Barack Obama. Apart from this book, recently few other books were in news. One is Azadi. So this is a book by Arundhati Roy. Apart from that, there is a book My Life in Design, and this is a book by Gauri Khan. Which airline is the first Indian carrier to offer Wi-Fi inside flights? So this was announced by Vistara, and it became the first Indian airline company to offer this specific feature. Now, if we talk about civil aviation sector, recently the sector was also in news because of a new bill, and the name of this bill is Aircraft Amendment Bill of 2020. And this bill will give statutory status to 3 organizations. These 3 organizations are DGCA, that is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, BCAS, that is Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, and third one is AAIB, that is Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. Now recently BCAS was also in news as Usha Padhi was appointed as the Director General of BCAS, and she is the first woman to be appointed to this post. Which organization has launched a free online course for improving the prescription practices in India? So this has been announced by ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, and the headquarters of ICMR is in New Delhi. It was established in 1911 and it is under MOH and FW, that is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And the name of this course is Prescribing Skills for Indian Medical Graduates, and this course has been launched by ICMR. It is important to note that MCI, that is Medical Council of India, has made this course compulsory for postgraduates. The present Chief of ICMR is Dr. Balram Bhargav. An expert committee under which organization is constituted to probe into the monitoring of online activities of Indians by a Chinese company? So this is under NCSC, that is National Cybersecurity Coordinator. Actually recently a Chinese technology company was in news because of surveillance of Indian citizens, and the name of this company is Zhenhua Data Information Technology Company. And because of that, the central government, that means Indian government, constituted an expert committee, and this committee is under NCSC, that is National Cyber Security Coordinator. And the present National Cyber Security Coordinator is retired Lieutenant General Rajesh Pant. Which organization has donated 5 crores to the Uttar Pradesh government for procurement of ambulances? So this has been donated by NCL, that is Northern Coalfields Limited. It is a Miniratna company, and recently it was in news as it donated 5 crore rupees to Uttar Pradesh government for procurement of ambulances. Recently, Uttar Pradesh government was also in news because of the announcement that the state will set up India's biggest film city in Noida. Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of Mr. G.B. Pant, that is Govind Vallabh Pant, and recently his 133rd birth anniversary was celebrated on 10th of September. Now why Mr. GB Pant is special for Uttar Pradesh because he was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. So these were the most important questions of today's video. Now we are going to cover important news. Feel free to skip it if you do not like the format. Also, please do not expect me to spoon feed you. If you are preparing for an officer level exam, first understand the importance of self-study. If you think that just by watching videos on YouTube, you are going to crack any exam in our country, then you need to wake up. On regular basis, I get mails that how should I manage my time? See, if you are spending 4 hours, 5 hours of your daily study time on YouTube by watching lectures, then you are just fooling yourself. YouTube is an ocean, and if you are trapped into that, then obviously you will not be able to study as much as you should. So try to limit down your YouTube time. Do not watch each and every video posted by each and every channel. Select few and try to make sure that you make notes from those videos. One special change is that everyone keep collecting PDF, but it is nothing more than a collection because most of the students do not even check that PDF. So try to utilize your time wisely. Start making notes. Even if you study for 1 hour, you should have proper notes for that so that you can revise it properly. If you are not going to revise it, trust me, it is of no use. This is only for those students who are really serious and who are normal. This is not for extra genius students who are going to write in comment that no, we can cover everything through videos and we can cover everything through PDF. This one is not for you. Okay, now enough of yarn. So first news is Azulvini consensus and Sirte declaration. So why it was in news? See, these two events are associated with Africa, and it is important to note that there is no permanent member from Africa in United Nations Security Council. So Africa demand that there should be permanent member from African continent also. Now why this was in news recently? Because there was a meeting of IBSA. IBSA stands for India, Brazil and South Africa. So it was a meeting of foreign ministers of these countries, and during that meeting it was decided that these countries will support African Union in accordance with this Azulvini consensus and Sirte declaration. Next is blue flag certification. So this is related to beaches and this is given by FEE. What is FEE? It is Foundation for Environmental Education, and this is an organization based in Denmark. Why this blue flag certification was in news? Because recently Union Ministry, that means Union Environment Ministry, announced that government has recommended 8 Indian beaches for this blue flag certification. Now in addition to that, recently government also started its own initiative on the lines of blue flag certification, and the name of this initiative is BEAMS, that is BEAMS. So it stands for Beach Environment and Aesthetic Management Services, and this initiative has been started under ICZM, that is Integrated Coastal Zone Management, and this initiative has been launched by SICOM. What is SICOM? It is Society of Integrated Coastal Management. Now answer in comment box who is the president of SICOM. Next is Udit Singhal. So recently he was in news as he has been named in the United Nations 2020 list of young leaders. And these young leaders has been selected for SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals. Next is Karotar 2020. So these are the new norms which are related to rules of origin. And this Karotar stands for Customs Administration of Rules of Origin under Trade Agreement. Next is iLead 2.0. So this is an initiative by Canara Bank, and the objective is to improve the customer services. Next is Indus Water Treaty. So why it was in news? Because recently it completed 60 years. So it is a treaty between India and Pakistan, and this treaty completed 60 years on 19th of September. So as per this treaty, the water of CJI will be for Pakistan, water of SRB will be for India, and India is allowed to use 20% of the water of the CJI for irrigation and power generation projects. Now what is CJI? It stands for Chenab, Jhelum and Indus River. So these 3 rivers are specified. Then what is SRB? It is for Satluj, Ravi and Vyas. It is important to note that World Bank is the third party in this water treaty. Next is Vaibhav Summit. So recently the summit was in news as it will be organized on 2nd of October. and this will be organized by DST and DRDO. The idea is to find out the mechanism for involving Indian diaspora in Indian research and academic institutions. Indian diaspora means Indians who are working in other countries in the field of research and development. So the idea is to involve them in Indian research as well. Next is New Zealand. So recently New Zealand was in news as it became the first country which passed a law, and as per that law, financial firms need to declare the climate related risk. That means the financial firm will have to declare that what are the climate related risks associated with the functioning of that particular firm. Next is Dayton Literary Peace Prize. So recently Margaret Atwood was in news because of this Dayton Literary Peace Prize. Next is Mukhyamantri Mahila Utkarsh Yojana. So this is a scheme by Gujarat government. Objective is to provide interest-free loan, and since it is related to Mahila, so obviously interest-free loan for women. Recently Gujarat was also in news as it launched subsidy scheme for electric vehicles, and the Chief Minister of Gujarat announced this subsidy as Panchsheel gift. Next is Education for All. So this is related to Baiju, and Baiju has launched this Education for All initiative to empower 5 million children by 2025. The headquarters of Baiju is in Bengaluru, and the founder of Baiju is Mr. Baiju Ravindran. Next is Babu Sivan. So he was Tamil director and he passed away recently. And next is FDI in defense sector. So this is your homework as what are the new changes in this FDI policy related to defense sector. Recently this policy was announced by DPIIT. This DPIIT is under Ministry of Commerce. So these were the most important questions of today's video. Thank you, and that's all for the day.